Just 1 second.
Great.
Okay, no worries. I just reached out to her, so we can begin for now.
Great.
So do we have everyone on the call?
We have everybody who's gonna, there may be others that may join along the way, but we have everybody to start. And
Okay.
I've given you shared screen if you want to use it.
Okay, no worries, no worries. Yeah, no, but before I begin, I just want to make a quick intro to myself to those on the call. I'm not sure if if I've met everyone.
Great.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Philip Dupree. I started here at Bloomberg in June of 2021, so about a year and a half now. And I started within our analytics and sales program. Analytics being our support desk, where we help clients with various questions they may have. I did that for about a year, and then I transitioned into sales last July, where I'm on a team that we cover many regional banks, broker dealers, and various finance firms in the Midwest in New York, and then also universities, with NYIT being one of the universities I cover. So that's just a little quick intro about myself. And then also before I go do a deep dive on like the terminal basics, I'm not sure how familiar, Josh, I'm not sure how familiar the students are just with Bloomberg in general, in terms of like what we do. And yeah, so if it will be helpful, I can give some fun facts
I
about
think
Bloomberg.
that'd be very helpful.
Okay, awesome. So a few fun facts about Bloomberg. We are a global business and financial information news leader, and not sure if many of you are aware, but the former mayor of New York, Michael Bloomberg, started this company back in 1981, and it has since grown into a major international operation, employing more than 20,000 individuals globally. Bloomberg is believed to generate over 10 billion in annual revenue, which a majority of that is from the Bloomberg Terminal, which I will give you guys a walkthrough. And pretty much just quick intro on the Bloomberg Terminal. Bloomberg Terminal provides real time market data and analytics to our clients. And the way I like to explain it to people outside of the finance industry, just think of the Bloomberg Terminal as a financial internet. So you can access a plethora of information from, prices on stocks, company description, news, global news. So that's a little bit about the terminal. And we have over 300,000 paying customers around the world. So that's just a little bit about Bloomberg, but let me go ahead and share my screen. 1 second. Okay, share screen. Okay, let me know if you guys can see that.
We could say,
We can.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So what we're looking at here is there's many facets of this. This is a very I would say a very intricate software, but essentially what we're looking at here is what we call a terminal panel. The way to look at what a terminal panel is essentially, think of it like an internet browser, whether it's Google Chrome, whether it's Safari, whether it's Firefox. So here within this terminal panel, at the top left, if you guys see that blue rectangular block box, this is our search engine, right? So here in that search engine, we can search for anything that we're looking for on the terminal. We use natural language processing. So you could just type in keywords for what it is you're looking for, and you'll see a drop-down menu of related pages that we have on that. So for example, right, let's say you guys wanted to see, you wanted to know more about Apple, right? So one thing that you can do here is you can type in Apple, right? And then what you're looking at here for my drop-down menu, there's two things. We have functions. Functions is essentially just pages. Think of it as pages. It's just different websites on the terminal. We have that, and then we have what we call securities. And securities are essentially, it's just a way to analyze a company, right? So whether that's an equity, right? So that's a stock, the Apple stock, whether that's a bond, we have various ways that you can analyze that. So for example, right, under functions, once I type in Apple, we see here that we can look at the bio pages of various people within Apple. So here I can click bio Timothy, Tim Cook, and then here you can see, highlights. You could see reported holdings, what Apple holds. You can see the most recent news, and then on the right, you can see his bio page. So that's something to keep in mind, is our search engine is essentially like, yeah, it's like you're using the internet. We use natural language processing, just type in keywords, never feel the need to know the name of the page, because we have hundreds or if not thousands of mnemonics for all of our pages. So that's something to keep in mind. One thing I do want to show you guys that's very helpful is, well, actually, let me do this. So we have a function called PEOP. So this is people search. So here you can actually use this function on the terminal to search for various, different market professionals around the world. So for you guys, what I like tend to show a lot of my university clients. I've held trainings with Hofstra, West Virginia University, St. John's, and then one thing that I do show often is at the far left-hand side of this people search, right? You can type in, you can find alumni from your university. So we're going to do New York Institute of Technology. And then what you can do is you can, and by the way, these are alumni, two things to note here, what we're looking at. These are alumni that, two things. One, are on the terminal, and the way that you determine if they're on the terminal is that at where it says first name, where I'm hovering my mouse over, two columns to the left, you'll see, for example, Ahmad. You see that X? That's just the symbol to show his status on Bloomberg. So these are Bloomberg users. And at the far left of my screen, under hide criteria at the bottom, you can actually select Bloomberg users only. So these are people who have New York Institute of Technology in their bio, and are on the terminal. And then it shows you the various companies, their title, and then you can see their location at the far right of your screen. And the reason I always try to show this is because this is a great networking tool. Think of it like a LinkedIn. You can find the various alumni, see what industry they're in, and this could be a way to send them a message, or you can send them what we call an instant messenger, where you'll be able to send them like a quick chat. So I'll show you. I'll go into a little detail on how our instant messenger looks, but I would highly recommend this function. And then even if you unselect Bloomberg users at the far left, you can see a plethora of you know, alumni, New York Institute of Technology alumni, and then you can even filter by location. So I'm just going to put New York.
That is amazing. How many alumni are in this list? Are we able to see
Yeah,
that?
so yeah, so at the far right of my screen, where it says results, you can
Yes,
actually see the total number,
40.
548.
That's amazing. That's great.
548, and it is really awesome because you can just send them a message, say hi, I'm currently a student at New York Institute of Technology, NYIT. I'm studying X, Y, and Z. I just started using the terminal, and I came across your profile on the terminal, and I just wanted to reach out, introduce myself, and maybe you can ask for what I highly recommend is always to ask for, a way to do it is to ask for advice on like how do they break into the industry. And this can be a great networking tool.
Now,
So
how do you actually send the message to the person? How do you do that?
yeah, we'll show you right now.
Okay.
One second. Okay, so the way that you would send a message to somebody, you can just click. So you see at the left hand, to the left of where you see their name,
Yep.
you can just click within. Well, there's multiple ways to do this here. Let me see. Okay, so at the far left of their screen, you see this icon. This will allow you to send them an email. So you click on this, and then you can send them an email directly through Bloomberg. So
Oh,
anytime you see an icon to
right.
the left of their name, that means that they're a Bloomberg user. And if you don't, that just means that they're not a Bloomberg user. But on some of their bio pages, if you click on their name, sometimes they have their email available. For Ganesh, for example, who's the CIO of Metro Plus Health, he does not have his email available, but he has his number. I wouldn't obviously recommend just calling him, but he has his number. You have his information there. Maybe you can reach out on LinkedIn. So
Great.
yeah. Any questions on that from anybody?
This may be a proprietary question, but
Uh-huh.
how do you compile this list of 580 people? Because I assume, uh, as you said, they're not all Bloomberg users.
They're not all Bloomberg users, but one thing that's in common with
Yeah,
all the non-Bloomberg users is that they're all usually a C-suite executives. So this is information that's usually available online. And that's pretty much what, when I say online, like through public websites. So Bloomberg, I'm not sure of the exact method on how they do it, but all and I noticed this as a trend, all of the guys that are not on, all of the people that are not on the terminal, they're all either some sort of director or C-suite. So that would mean that they're either publishing news articles. That's one. So their name is being mentioned in many of the news that you can see on the terminal. That's one. Or two, yeah, these are people where, like, when you go on a specific company website, you could see a list of, how sometimes you can go on a site and you can see the list of like board members, or the list of, the list of partners. So that's usually a trend that I see. So you won't necessarily see like an analyst or associate on here. This is all executives. I can get back to you on exactly how Bloomberg is pulling it, but this is definitely all public information. If anything, there would have been much more than 500 and 500 and change. But yeah, this is just what's publicly available.
got it.
Yes, yes,
Thank you.
yes. And no worries, no worries. So another thing I do want to show you guys is our news tool. So we have multiple, as you can imagine, right? We have multiple news, different news tools. But one thing that a lot of our new users use is that once they on the top left in the command line, that blue rectangular box, a lot of people just type in news, press enter, And here you'll see, this is like Bloomberg's main news page. And here you'll see like the top selected news stories by Bloomberg at the top. And this usually we have our own editorial team. So we hand select articles, like the most buzzing stories globally. So you can see that here we have featured stories, we have opinions and analysis, and we show articles from all of the different major news sources. So whether that's New York Times, Wall Street Journal, you guys can actually access those news stories through here. So that's pretty cool, because as you guys know, with New York Times and Wall Street Journal, you have to pay a premium for that. So if you do news from, and you do Wall Street Journal, or you could do news from New York Times, and then just press enter, you'll see the news stories that are published by these various news companies. So you see at the far right, you see under time at the far right of my screen, you see where it says WSJ to the right of the article. Like for example, the first article says, is the Lord God bird extinct? And then all the way at the right, WSJ. So that just shows the source, the news source. So that's a way to verify it. So that's something to keep in mind. And then one thing I do want to, another powerful resource within the terminal is at the far right of your screen, guys. Well, not your screen, my screen, excuse me. At the far right, when you guys are on the terminal, we have, I call it our menu page. So 3 things to remember. Anytime you're on any page within the terminal, we have 3 key resources at your disposal. I'd like to think that I'm a resource for you guys too, where you can reach out to me, but just on the fly, 3 resources that you always have at your disposal on no matter what function you're on, page that is. You have your help page. So if you click the question mark at the top right of your screen, that question mark that you see there, you click that drop down and you'll see that question mark on every screen. You have the help page, you have the live help, and you have training requests. Help page just is, this is a resource guide for that page that you're on. So here, like if you didn't know how to search for news, or you wanted to do a natural language search, you wanted to learn more about that, you can just see at the far left-hand side, we have the different options for you. So that's something to keep in mind. Also, there's live help. We have, and this is actually the team that I came from. We have a 24/7 help desk where we have, and it's global. So we have it in here in New York, we have it in San Francisco, we have it in London, we have it in Asia. And pretty much we have a team that can answer any question you have on whatever page you're on. So let's say you wanted to ask a question, you go, hi, I'm on this news page and I wanted to know how to, let's say, filter for sources, WSJ sources, so Wall Street Journal sources. You click start chat, and then within a couple of minutes, somebody will greet you. So always be as specific as possible when asking a question, because we do have various teams. So the more detailed you are, the more of a chance that our AI will route it to the right team based on the keywords. Also, something cool that we have. Oh, and I realize, hold on. Are you guys still able to see my screen?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
I do notice though, okay, you guys can only see the window. So anytime there was a pop-up, you guys weren't able to see it. Let me just undo this. Hold on real quick. 1 second. All right, let me do new share. Let me just do screen one. All right, perfect. So yeah, and okay, great. So now this is the help page that I was referring to. I realized you guys probably couldn't see that before because I wasn't sharing my whole screen. I was just sharing the window. So this is the help page. And then you have the live help right here. Oh, just disappeared. Hold on. And then you have the training request. You have the training request right here that just popped up in here. You can schedule whether it's usually virtual or it could be even in at the NYIT campus, but pretty much here you can just put in hi, I'm looking to learn more about this particular page that I'm on, and then one of our specialists can schedule a 30-minute training with you. Before I continue, do we have any questions?
No.
No,
Pretty straightforward.
Yep.
Awesome. Another thing that I do want to show you guys. Can you see my I just want to make sure the screen share is actually working. You can see this
Yeah, the
instant
pop-up,
messenger.
right?
yes.
Yep.
Yeah, the IB. Okay, yes. So think of, I mean, instant messenger is pretty self-explanatory. It's almost like how there used to be AIM back in the day. You could think of this like just like simply it's a chat. It's an instant messenger chat. And here's where you can find various people on the terminal and start a chat with them. So if I were to put in my name, see, boom, you click that, and then start a chat, and then it just pops up on their screen. So that's something to keep in mind. Also, we have something called, if you see on my screen, you see how I have these different color coordinated, let's call them chats. Essentially what they are is they are what we call a persistent chat. So think of it like having a group message on iPhone or on Instagram being part of a group. So this is essentially what that is. Here you can actually create what we call a persistent chat. So if I were to, like, I'll have my friend right here, Brian Lee. So if you were to click on anybody's name when you start a chat with them, you can actually do convert to persistent chat, which is the group name that I was referring to. And then you can just type in chat name. Let's say test, and then boom, that would start a chat with that person. And then that would come up as like, it comes up as red, but then I'm changing, as you can see here, I've changed the colors. So that's something to keep in mind. You can do temporary chats, which show up in amber. And this is when you just type in somebody's name, type in my name again, boom, start the chat. And then if you just go to the settings here, this menu icon at the far right, you can click convert to persistent chat, and that will convert to like a group. So that's something to keep in mind. I know many of you obviously are using what we call share terminals, so multiple people can log onto the same terminal. But eventually, when many of you, get internships at some of the major finance companies, you guys will have your own instant messenger. So that's something to be mindful of. Any questions on that, guys?
Just a quick side question. Are
Sure.
any of these, is there any training that's like pre-recorded that one could simply go to a data bank and just click on if you're
So
interested in?
yes, we have multiple things. One thing that I would say is one of the more popular, I should say, functions that we have for the pre-recorded trainings is our seminar function. So this would be the mnemonic SMNR. Sorry, did someone say something?
I think that was just
Just some feedback?
yep.
Okay, gotcha. Well, we do have this function called seminar, SMNR, and here weekly, we actually have these Bloomberg webinars where we go into where we talk about various different things. So we go into what's happening in the market. We go into how to navigate around various functionality. So here, if like here under categories, so in the middle of my screen, under categories, you see how I selected, for example, fixed income.
Yep.
So under fixed income, you could see the list of webinars that we have. And for example, that second option, introduction to fixed income functionalities, that's an example of like a very basic new user training that we often run. So that's kind of how you can go about, and this would be this right now. What we're doing is I'm showing you how to access the future events, but if you wanted to, let's say, access old events, you could do in the middle of my screen at the top where it said on demand. I just clicked on view all, and here you can type in anything it is you're looking for. And these are
could we type in risk management, for
yeah,
instance?
sure. Let's do it risk or the risk
Risk
management.
management, yeah.
And it's good that you brought that up, Josh, because I did want to get more information
Okay,
for our upcoming. We
Great.
can speak about that another time, but I did want to get more information because I was able to get a specialist to help us, but they just
Great.
wanted to know more information around who's going to be in attendance and whatnot. So,
great.
but yeah, so for example, I typed in risk management. And here what I'm looking at is combination of things. So there's I'm looking, if you look in the middle where it
Right.
says posted at 3:22, the 22nd of March, powering your portfolio, intraday insights for better decision support. So that would be an example of like within the topic of risk management, we have we're showing you how you would make better decisions for your portfolio. And we have a whole separate function. We have functionality for that. So that's just an example. Like within risk management, as you can imagine, Josh and all, we have various there's a lot of different
Well, there's
lenses that you
one
can
there
look at.
in particular that's very interesting, because we're going to be having a symposium on it in September. Supply chain risk and opportunities webinar.
Supply chain risk and opportunities
That was
webinar. We
posted 3:15.
posted 3:15 supply. Oh, okay. Yes. So let's click on that. I'll just click play for you guys for a little bit. Let me fast forward.
Oh, that's a really great one.
Perfect. Like you were able to hear that, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So
I see it.
and
So
then
I see
nice.
what it is.
Nice. And then let me fast forward a little bit. Boom.
Now,
So,
are,
yeah,
are
talk to
we
me.
allowed to download these for educational purposes,
So,
or
excuse me. I don't know the answer to that off the bat.
okay?
I don't, but, and I'm not going to waste time trying to click on this, but let me see. Hold on. And you see here at the top left of my screen in the red column, you see how you have the option to even request a training. This is like one of the major benefits of the terminal. So you watch a webinar and you have no idea what they're talking about, or you just want more clarification. You just click on request training, and then you can schedule a follow-up session with one of our specialists. But in terms of downloading this, off the bat, I'm going to say very likely not.
Okay.
Very
So
likely
then
not. That means that you would have to watch it within the terminal.
Bloomberg Terminal. Got it. Got it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But I will write that down as a follow-up for
Okay.
you guys. Hold on. Yeah, 1 second. Let me make sure I got that down.
Here's
Yeah,
what I
talk to me.
had in mind, which is to take perhaps one of those short 42-minute presentations and offer it to my students in my risk management course, just as a component of one of the classes that we have, where they would watch this video and we would discuss it. But if it can't be downloaded, then it's simply a question of assigning students to go to the Bloomberg room, which I'm all in favor of anyway, and have them watch it there.
Yeah, that
Fine.
would be
Philip, if we
that
were to do what Professor Beanstalk is suggesting, each student would have to establish an account before he or she was able to watch it, correct?
correct.
Which is fine. I'd like to, I'd like to make every student do that.
That would be ideal. That would
Right.
be
It
ideal.
really
Okay,
would
but that,
be.
as part of the directions, we would have to,
Right.
do they require the certification or can they watch without it?
No, the certification is completely separate. All they would need is a terminal login, essentially a login to access the software, and
Mhm.
they should be able to. Well, not should be able to. They will be able to watch these videos.
And to clarify, since you brought that up, Ellie, the certifications you do not have to do on the Bloomberg terminals.
No,
All you have to do is go to the link that we have at the Center for Risk Management, which links you to the Bloomberg site. And if you have your NYIT email address and your password, you will click in and you could take it from any computer that you happen to be at.
exactly.
Right.
That's right, Josh. That's right.
That's because you trained me. You taught me well.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. But yeah, no, yeah, in terms of downloading, like I said, I don't think this is possible, unfortunately, but
No, but it's fine because
yeah.
it could be done as a homework assignment.
Honestly, I should not be telling you this telling this to you guys, but
Right.
the truth of the matter is that you would be able to record these videos on demand.
Yeah, but I don't want to
through some sort.
encourage.
Yeah, of
I-
course.
Yeah, I don't want to
Of
start.
course.
I'm very sensitive about copyright
And
protection.
I appreciate that. I
Very
appreciate
sensitive.
that. But as I always say, I would be more than happy, more than delighted to set up any sort of training or webinar just with myself and a specialist if need be. But yes, I would say this would be a great start, is to have all of the students create their own login,
Right.
load the page SMNR. And then I'll put this in the chat for you guys actually right now. Hold on. Let's see. SMNR. That's the page that you would load.
Okay.
And then yeah, you would
And
just
then
go
once
to
there, I would, for instance, type in risk management.
yeah, so I'm gonna type the instructions right now. So at the top middle of your screen, you will click view all next to on demand. And then from there, once you click view all, in the amber search where it says filter, you can type in a keyword. Boom. All right. So I don't know if you can all see that chat.
So, just so I'm, there's so much here. So I could type a keyword, anything from risk management to marketing,
Yeah.
automobile industry.
Yes, I'm going
And
to type in
then-
marketing right now.
And then I
Yep.
can also, it looks like it says all languages, choose something that I knew to be in English or I knew to be in Hindi.
Yeah, correct. So these are the languages that we offer, which is pretty vast. I know you just mentioned Hindi, just for just as an example. We do not see we have that, but we but we do have a plethora of languages here. It looks like it's almost 15. So
I have to get a kick out of, you have Chinese traditional and
yes,
Chinese simplified.
because there's Mandarin and there's Cantonese.
Well,
Mandarin
aware
being
of it.
from
I've been,
yes.
I've been to China many times as a guest speaker, and I don't know that there's any way that one could say Chinese simplified.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah,
But I'm going to click it on one of these days and see if how I'm doing with respect to that. But just as an aside to,
Yeah.
you said that you would wanted a greater understanding of what we want to do at that risk management workshop.
Mhm.
You're a research-driven organization, and
Mhm.
what you've shown us in this past half hour is what I would like to focus on with respect to risk management, to
Research.
show the participants how you could use the Bloomberg terminals to research areas of risk management. And for instance, we have supply chain risk management, we have human capital risk management, we have war, terrorism, and political unrest and risk management. So what I'm hoping we could do is spend the time giving the participants an overview as to where are they going to be able to, what kinds of information can they find searching through the Bloomberg. I mean, you've got
Got it.
an
Yeah, no,
incredible, yeah.
right. Okay. No, that's very helpful. You know what it is? It's that because the Bloomberg terminal is so vast, we have, as you can imagine, we have multiple topics within risk management. So it just was helpful to kind of get an idea of like what direction you guys would want to go down.
And
'Cause
one
we
of the
can
things I'd like to maybe be able to show the participants are the different components to risk management, regulatory risk management, as I said, war, terrorism, political unrest, human capital, supply chain. If we can use that time to kind of see if we're able to locate different subcategories of risk management within your research engines.
Yeah, no, that would be that's very helpful to
Whatever
know.
you
Thank
do will be great.
for
Whatever you do
sure.
will be great.
And then just to confirm, obviously, during the tour that we had 2 weeks ago at the Bloomberg office, I did speak with a lot of students, and obviously I spoke with you, Josh, who told me that just to confirm that in terms of the student body, right? The student body that's in attendance usually, whether it's on the tour, whether that's on these Zooms, it's a combination of undergrads as well as master's students, correct?
The
Yes.
tour is a mixed bag of both.
Okay. How about just in general, like for example, the attendees today? It's helpful to know this. Yeah.
These Zoom workshops are predominantly undergrad.
Undergrad.
Virtual,
Okay.
right.
Okay. Yeah, because for example, like our risk specialist wanted to know whether this was part of like an MBA or financial engineering program, because based on the level, right, that's kind of how more in depth that we would go, if that makes sense.
So,
Like
so just to complicate things,
Yeah,
most of
that's
the students
true.
who are going to be taking risk management classes with Professor Beanstalk and some of our other risk management professors are going to be at the master's level.
That's true.
Oh, got it.
So we're going to invite grad students from the risk management MS program to join on that session. But so there will be grad students there, but there will probably still be more undergrad than grad. But Ellie is totally right. So, and the same thing would probably, Ellie, I guess for marketing, when we're doing the marketing one, is that going to be predominantly undergrad students or grad students?
I'm going to say it's probably graduate students, but we're going to try to get a mix.
Okay, so it's probably going to be a mix, but I would also just say this about the student capabilities. We have a pretty impressive group of undergraduate students.
I believe that.
They never cease to amaze me. And
They're eager to learn. They're very eager to learn,
their
which is that's
intellectual
amazing.
levels are pretty
Got it.
impressive. So, I would not want to kind of, I'd like to try to keep things on a slightly more rigorous level
Okay.
than the latter.
Okay, that's fair to know because look, like I not only do I work with the universities, I actually work with high school students, and
Right.
just for some transparency, like I have a high school out in Long Island, where a lot of the students were, well, not were, but are looking to take the BMC course, and we kind of advise the teachers that like, especially the teachers were mentioning how many of these students they're kind of finding it hard to grasp a lot of the concepts that are within
Yes.
the BMC course, just because it's
Yes.
just, yeah, it's just that's not, they're not there yet. So I'm just very conscious of that, right? Everyone is on a different learning level, so I try to keep it
Right.
as, have everyone included.
Professor
It's
Beanstalk is
good.
actually rather expert at taking material and gearing it to a different age and understanding.
Appropriate. Because only because look, when I took the certification, Philip,
Mhm.
it was challenging for me. I mean, I have
Right.
an accounting background, I have a finance background, I have
Mhm.
everything, and it was still, challenging.
Yeah,
I go
no,
back a
same.
little bit.
Right.
So, but on the other hand, I can guarantee you, and it's not just Aditya, but if Aditya did it, he would probably get a better score than I got. Um, so there you go. Uh, but but Ellie is right. For the marketing and for the risk management, it's probably going to be a combination of
Okay.
undergrad and grad. But I would lean towards their undergrad and pretty savvy undergrad and extremely savvy grad.
Grad. Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's the story with them.
Got it.
Just
Yeah.
to add to that a little
Yes.
bit,
Hi,
the
Didier.
undergrad course here,
Mm.
the undergrad course at NYT does include subjects like quant, which involves like a detailed financial analysis
Mm.
and statistical
What
regressions
what what
and
was
all of
what was
that.
what was the what did you say? Subjects like, what was the term that you said?
Uh,
What was?
there's a subject called quant, QANT,
Oh,
basically statistical
quant.
Yep,
Okay, yes,
quant.
yes, 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 yes. Got it. Okay.
So students do go through all of that, and I think undergrads are maybe not as well equipped as the graduates, but
Mm,
they exactly know how to and everything. So we can step it up.
And again,
okay.
what we're really trying to do is train the participants in the marketing workshop and in the risk management workshop how to use your huge amount of resources
Right.
to focus on those two particular concentrations.
Mm,
And today you did. I mean, you really did it today in terms of showing me, or just by typing in the keyword risk management, how I could find all these things. How I could type in if I'm looking for news articles. If I type in risk management, if I am looking for any earlier seminars or workshops that were done, and likewise with marketing, so that those of us in those respective areas can feel a little bit more comfortable trying to use the very daunting and extensive Bloomberg research tools.
Just to piggyback on what Josh said, I've required a class of my students to take Bloomberg, and many of them,
mhm.
because they're interested in luxury goods and fashion, chose not the one that I meant, which was the
Mhm.
basic one, but the sustainability certificate.
Oh,
So
okay. ESG.
yeah, and found that of extraordinary value.
That's good to know. That's actually really good to know. Okay. So you would
And
say majority of the students found the most value within sustainability.
These are students, so these are international, I guess, exchange students, for lack of a better word, who come over
Mhm.
here 2 semesters.
Right.
And they also have a master's degree from France in marketing, and they are almost all of them interested in luxury marketing and sustainability,
Wow.
and a couple of them just gravitated toward that. And
Gotcha.
when I said take a certificate, they took that one.
and with respect to
Wow.
ESG,
Yeah.
there are a lot of grad and undergrad courses where ESG is discussed extensively, and
Interesting.
somewhere down the road,
Mhm.
perhaps in September, perhaps we could have a workshop which
Yes,
addresses-
100%. Bloomberg is making a lot of strides, so many strides to, because as you can imagine, a lot of our clients have been caring about ESG more and
Right.
more and more. So yes, Bloomberg has been adding so many different functionalities.
and also
related to
showing
yeah.
and also showing the big picture too, because
Yes,
a group such as Vanguard has pushed back and they are resisting ESG, saying that our
yeah,
responsibility to our shareholders is to
I
maximize.
did see that.
Right. So
Yeah,
I'd like to give students the complete picture, the pros, the cons, the current state of affairs. Uh, uh, and here's one which maybe is a little, maybe it's a little controversial, perhaps it's a
Mhm.
little, I don't know, unfair, but
Mhm.
with the Silicon Valley Bank,
Yes, yes.
other
Mhm.
and Credit Suisse as well.
Yes, Credit Suisse. Yep. First
There
Republic. Yep.
there were problems. There were obviously risk management failures that they
Of course.
didn't take they did take into account that interest rates could go up and they locked themselves into long-term bonds at a lower interest rate and
Yeah.
would have to sell them. So there was a risk management component, but there was also a ESG component of, were they too focused on ESG and not enough on the basics of finance? So it's a question that I do ask my students. I don't necessarily believe that. I think one can walk and chew gum at the same time.
Right.
But we do discuss things like that. So if we could do an ESG program with you in September, that'd be great.
100%.
Fantastic.
100%.
Now, I
So
just want to give you a time warning. It's about 1:45. Are you comfortable in
y-
concluding where we are?
yeah, no, this work, this is perfectly fine for me. If you guys have any
But is there
additional
anything
questions.
else? But is there anything else you would want us to know?
Honestly, the I would say that's really the fundamentals
Good.
of the terminal. And yeah, let's definitely, continue to set up these meetings because there's just a lot to learn
Now,
on so
I recorded this meeting. Is it
yes,
okay for me to rerun it for our students?
sure.
Fantastic.
If it would be helpful to them, why not?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because what we'll do is Aditi and I will
Mhm.
kind of share this with the other faculty and ask them to share it with their students to
Okay.
as a little bit of a video how to do for them. So that'd be great. I appreciate it.
Sure. And then what I'll also do for you, I can provide you with some resources that a lot of the students could use in terms of just getting started on the terminal. Like, for example, one resource that I'll provide you, and I'll just show you how I'm going to get to it now.
Great.
It's this page BPS, and I'm going to put this into the Zoom chat for you guys here on BPS. So pretty much what we're looking at here, this is just a one-stop shop for, I would say, all of our resource guides for our different pages and or functionality on the terminal. So here at the far left hand of my screen under Resource Center Home, I'm going to click Getting Started. Under Getting Started, I'm going to click Terminal Getting Started User Guide. And here you'll see our help page, Getting Started with the
That's
Bloomberg.
great.
So yeah, just think of this as just simply a manual. This is just
Philip,
the manual.
if only I had this Bloomberg terminal in my house.
Well, we could work on that, Josh. We can work on that. We
You
have
know
something
what?
called a Bloomberg Anywhere. We
Yeah,
have a Bloomberg Anywhere.
I know.
Yes, yeah, we
It's
can
all-
work on that.
It is such a great resource, and my goal is to make sure everybody in the whole university is aware of that. And I don't know if I mentioned this to you. I have to send you a copy of an article, an internal article that appeared at MIT, talking about the Bloomberg terminals and the certification.
Sure, send that. I'll be really
And
interested to read that. Yeah.
I think you'll like it, and I hope you also saw, I think you must have seen that you were receiving our first Bloomberg Leadership Award
I did see
on
that earlier.
May
I,
19th.
but
If you're able to come, it's going to be in Manhattan, actually. So
so May 19th.
May
Let me
19th,
just double check that real quick. I
if you
think
can, you can. If you can't, you still get it.
May 19th is Friday. That's Friday, right?
Correct.
That should work. Friday
Again,
should be. Yeah.
love to see you there if you could, but if for some reason business calls elsewhere, you still get it.
Okay.
So
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank
you're
you
the
so
first
much.
recipient, and you were well deserving. We could not have gotten as far as we have without everything that you've done. We're
Thank you,
very,
Josh.
very appreciative.
Thank you.
So Aditya and I will be in touch with you shortly, just to go over any questions you may have about the upcoming marketing and the risk management uh, programs. Is there a time that you would like for the two of us to talk to you? And maybe Ellie, you should join us too.
About the risk management session.
And the marketing one is.
I'm
Yes.
happy to
So
join for the marketing
Yeah.
one, yeah.
Would
yeah,
you
sure.
like to Zoom? Would you like to Zoom sometime next week or?
Yeah, so I'm just looking back at your email. The marketing is, correct me if I'm wrong, that's scheduled for April 18th, correct?
I believe that's correct.
And then the risk management, you said May, sometime in May?
I think so. Let me go double check myself.
Okay, yeah, I just want to make
I'm
sure we're
off-
on the same
I'm off
page.
screen
No.
myself.
No, you're totally fine. Okay, yeah, so April 18th, I have here, I'm just looking at your original email that you sent me with the Zoom links. I have April 18th for the world of marketing, and then I have
Yes.
May 9th for the world of risk
Yes,
management. That's
correct.
still, those dates are still good?
They are still good.
Okay, perfect,
Excellent.
perfect.
So-
So in terms of scheduling a follow-up,
Yeah.
today is the 4th. Let's do next Monday on the 10th.
Monday, the 10th with Philip. At what time?
Let's do the same time that we did actually for our last call that we had. How's 12 o'clock?
12, can we
Well,
do 12:15?
12:15, right? Because you have class
Correct.
until 12. Okay.
Correct. I got class till 12, literally 12:10, so I could switch right over to you. Okay, so
Wow. Okay. Busy guy,
Philip,
man.
Aditya and Efson and Ellie, I will send all of you a Zoom invite for Monday at 12:15.
Sounds good.
awesome. Sounds
Awesome.
good.
This is great. So thank you. It was absolutely everything that I had hoped for.
No, I hope this was helpful for you
It
guys.
was
I
very,
hope this
very
was
helpful. And I will now explain to you what I did. I went to the wrong Zoom link. I had two Zoom links for the
okay.
same time, and I'm
No
sitting
worries.
there and sitting there.
Okay.
The
Because
absent-minded,
because on my end, what it said, because obviously I didn't send out the invite. So what happens is
Right.
when you're not the creator, it just
Right.
there's a pop-up and it just
Right.
says waiting for presenter, and then
So-
there's just like a loading. So I didn't know.
So I had two meetings at one time, and the other meeting was not a real meeting, and I'm sitting and sitting and sitting, and then I had the epiphany that I'm on the wrong Zoom link. So sorry
worries,
about
man.
that. I think we may have lost a
Yeah.
student or two as
Were
well.
you guys able to install those additional terminals?
I
What-
don't know. I'll be back in there on early next week, and I'll check.
Okay.
I'm in the terminal room right now.
Oh.
4 of the terminals are working
Ye-
perfectly.
And
Yeah.
Fifth one is having some issues, but that's not software issues. Those are hardware issues. And I think the 6th terminal is not working, but we do have the software installed. All we need to do is put in the serial number and everything.
Okay, good.
Mhm.
Okay, good. Let me know if there's anything I could do on my
So-
end. I know there was Bloomberg on-site support that came over to the campus to help out. So I don't know if you need me to get in touch with them or is there
so,
something that
yeah, Dichi, if you could possibly give both of us a summary of the status of each terminal by number,
Mhm.
that would be helpful.
Mhm.
That'd be great.
Sure, and I think Jonathan on campus, who is in charge of like the computers, does a
Right.
good job. So what I'll do is maybe build like a connection between all of us.
That'd be
so that,
great.
like, yeah. Awesome.
Good. Okay, so and we could revisit on Monday when we talk as well, if there's a
Yes.
update in detail. Good. All right, so I'd like to again thank our guest speaker. Phil, you were great, and I want to congratulate our guest speaker who's receiving the Center for Risk Management Bloomberg Leadership Award, and it's the first one that we have been presenting. So you will always have that particular honor of being the first. And really, really can't thank you enough. So with that said, I'm going to wish everybody a great, great afternoon. Those of you who are celebrating Easter, Passover, or anything
Ramadan.
else, happy
Ramadan,
holidays.
yep.
And thank you for being here today. Have a
All
great
right.
day, everyone.
Thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Phil.
No problem.
Great.